Welcome to a new series on how to pick a property management company. I'm Peter Lohman with RL Property Management, the only management company in Columbus started and run by engineers. I think there's a really big need in the market for detailed information on how to select a property management company that's right for you. So stay tuned, we're going to go into a lot of detail and there's going to be several videos on this topic, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to pick the best property management company for you and your property. So there's a 5-step process, and this video is going to cover step 1. But let me start by just reviewing all the steps in order, and that will give you a sense of what we're going to be discussing. So step 1 is determine your needs. Step 2, evaluate the marketplace. Step 3, research the top 10 and narrow down. Step 4, call 5 companies. And step 5, meet with the top 1 or 2 companies from that list. So let's jump right into step 1, which is determining your needs. So the first thing you need to do is think about, why are you hiring a property management company? And it may seem like a pretty basic question, but I find that a lot of customers, when I talk to them about what they're looking for, they don't even know. They're not sure what they're looking for in a management company or why they need one. So let's take a few minutes and explore this question. Are you looking to save time? Are you looking to save money? Are you looking to hire experts, or are you looking for an assistant? So these types of questions are what you should be thinking about as you begin to set forth on this process, because it's going to inform everything you do from here on out. So you really need to get clear with yourself on why you want a property management company. Consider your own role. I mean, do you think of yourself as a homeowner? Maybe if you own one home and you're getting ready to move out of it. Do you think of yourself as an investor? Or do you think of yourself as kind of an accidental landlord? Maybe you inherited a rental property. Again, these are the kind of relationships between yourself, your property, and your property manager that are really going to set the tone for your whole experience. So it's worth taking a few minutes to consider it. Different property management companies cater to different types of clients. So some property management companies specialize in working with investors. Others love working with homeowners who are just renting out a house for a year or two. So another thing to consider is, do you have management experience yourself? If you have managed property before, you should think about what you did as the property manager in that role and which parts of that you're looking to outsource to the property management company. Most property management companies are going to ask you why you want to hire a management company, so be ready to answer this. Okay, what's next? Well, what do you want them to do for you? There's a lot involved in managing a piece of real property, and there's a lot of things a management company could do for you. So you need to consider those things and decide, what do you want them to do for you and what do you not want them to do for you. Let me run down a list of some of the most common things that property management companies do. Maybe you want all this taken care of or just part of it. Leasing and lease renewals, rent collection, maintenance and repairs, evictions, emergency maintenance, listings and advertising, tenant screening, financial reporting, landscaping and snow removal. Those are just a few examples of some of the things a management company can take care of for you if you want them to. Okay, next. Consider putting together an RFQ. So in industry, that's called a request for quote, and usually it's prepared by a business who's seeking candidates or other businesses for a job or a contract. But it actually translates very well to the world of property management. So if you have a single property, could be a single family home or it could be an apartment building, and you're looking for a property management company, if you put together a request for quote or an RFQ, it's going to really help you because it's going to be very clear in what you're looking for. It will help you because in the process of putting together the request for quote, you're going to be getting clear with yourself what you want, and then when you give that document to potential property managers, and ask them for a quote, it's going to give them everything they need to know. So you should put on this RFQ, obviously the property address or addresses, your information, your contact information, maybe a little bit about yourself, as much information about the property as possible. When did you buy it? How many vacant units are there? How many occupied units? The rent roll if you have it, the current leases if you have those, and a list of what you want the management company to handle. Put as much detail as possible. The more the better. It will really give the property manager a great understanding of what you're looking for, and that will help them decide if you're going to be a great fit. Because you don't want to hire the wrong property manager, and most property management companies don't want to work with you if you're not a great fit. It's just bad for everybody. So take some time up front and consider putting together this RFQ. Okay, the most important question I saved for last, and that is, do you want an assistant or do you want an expert? And I phrase that question in that way because there's really two styles of property management. And there's nothing inherently better or worse about the two different styles that I'm about to describe, but you should be aware that they exist and you should become clear on what you want. So the first style is what I would call the assistant. So this is kind of like a realtor. If you've worked with a realtor before, you know that you're in charge, and the realtor is kind of almost like your messenger or your helper, right? So they're going to put the contract together, but you set the asking price. They're going to gather the title documents, but you're the one picking all those details, like who's going to be on it and everything else. So this translates into the world of property management. Some property management companies are going to be like your assistant. You're in charge, and you're making most, if not all, of the decisions, and they're there to help you facilitate that. They're going to run around and take care of what you ask them to do, and they're going to answer every time you call, and they're basically just going to do whatever you ask them to do. Okay? So that's the first style. And this could work well for a very experienced landlord or someone with a lot of property management experience themselves. So if you've done a lot of work with rental properties, maybe you've owned and managed them yourself for many years, this might be what you're looking for because you know what's going on, you know all the laws, you know all the regulations, you know all the code, and you really just need kind of like a warm body to run around and take care of things for you. So that's a great option in certain situations. Now, the other style of property management is what I'm going to call the expert. So in this situation, the property manager is really the one running the property after you turn it over to them, and they're going to use their expertise and experience to deliver great results for you without a lot of your input. In fact, a lot of the decision making is going to be turned over to that property manager as part of your fiduciary relationship, and they're really only going to be contacting you for very extenuating circumstances such as an emergency, a maintenance request that's well above the average, and you're going to hear from them around things like leasing and getting the property ready to rent. But you're really looking for someone to just take care of everything. And this is a great fit for people who are advancing in their career and really need to focus on their work and don't want to be distracted with every little maintenance request or late rent. They're looking for a property manager to just jump in there and just take care of it. Just do what they would do as if it was their own property, and you as the owner will get the monthly statement. The other option this is good for is if you are very focused on something that you want to do. Say you're traveling, or say you're retired and you want to go move away and just not think about your rental property anymore. Again, that's where you bring in an expert. You turn everything over to them. You say, you know what? Whatever happens, you guys take care of that. I'm counting on you to deal with the tenants and the lease and the rent and the maintenance and the turnovers, and call me if anything goes horribly wrong, but other than that, it's up to you. And so that's what I call the experts. You bring in the experts, you turn it over to them, and you let them do their thing. So that happens to be how we operate at RL Property Management. We operate more on the expert side of things. And I have this exact conversation with potential clients. I explain to them these two styles. and I really let them know, like, hey, if you're looking more for an assistant, we're not a great fit for you. So you as a property owner should think about this in advance as you begin on this journey to select the best property manager for you. Have a good understanding of these two styles and what you're looking for. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Stay tuned. We're going to be releasing episode 2, where we're going to cover evaluating the marketplace. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks.